Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in. Behind me, 2006 Dodge Sprinter, we're gonna be changing the front shocks. Overall, not too bad. Let's get started. First thing you wanna do is jack the vehicle up, put it on jack stands, we'll pull our tire off. Now we wanna turn the wheel all the way to one side to expose our caliper bolts. Now we'll take a flat screwdriver, put it in this window up against our rotor, and we'll pull in our direction. Just nice, light, even pressure. What that's doing is pushing in our caliper piston just a little. That'll make removing and reinstalling our caliper just a little easier. I think that's pretty good. Now we're gonna remove our wear indicator. We could take this same screwdriver right here, just kind of pry out just a little. This thing should pop out. There it is. And this will just go through our window when we pull it apart. And we have two 13mm bolts. The short one is on the bottom, and the longer one is on the top. And we should be able to just wiggle this off and give us just a little more slack. When I get it off, I'll show you why it's kind of hanging up. So I'll get a little more slack. There we go. We'll just set this over here. So why it hangs up is on the back of your pad, you have these little protrusions. And so the caliper piston has to come up and over that. So pushing that caliper piston in just a little more will give you that extra room. Just put these back on and move you to the back. Our shock bolts are in the back. We have two on this side. Once we get these, we'll turn the wheel the other direction and we'll get the other side. 19mm, they give you perfect room for an impact if you own one. Let's turn the wheel. On this side, we'll take our wheel speed sensor wiring out of this little bracket. So we'll just push out on it. Just like that. It can dangle, no problem. We'll pull these out. Now, as I pull this last one out, the knuckle will want to slide forward. That's why we removed our caliper, so we don't put too much tension on our brake hose. You can just let this slide forward like that. Okay, we are done down here. Now let's go in the cab. We'll get our upper bolt. On the passenger side, if you have carpet, just peel it back. Then you have this cover. There's a little retainer here, just with a screwdriver or the key. Just turn it. This little piece will pop up. Once the cover's out, you have some tools here, if you still own them, and then our little jack. We'll remove that, set that aside, and this is the top of our shock. Let me zoom you in a little. So there it is, perfect access, and they give you enough room for an impact, which is pretty sweet. Now let me show you the driver's side. That's the side we're working on right now. So this side's a little different. We're just gonna peel stuff back. If you have carpet, we'll remove that, just to get it out of the way. And then right here in this corner, just find a spot to get your fingers behind it, and we'll just peel it up. That's all we're doing, is just peeling it back. You might be able to tuck it underneath our pedal, our brake pedal, but most likely not. Can you see it right here? I think the steering wheel's in the way. Let me move you. So there it is right there on this side. That is a 24mm. We'll take our impact. They give you just enough room. We'll buzz it out. If the center shaft wants to spin, well, let me show you that real quick, because most likely it will. So here on the outside, we'll just pull down this little dust boot that exposes our center shaft. And we'll take just a pair of vice grips. Because we're replacing this, we don't really care about it. So vice grips, just like that. This will swing around and stop right here, and it'll hold it from spinning. Let's go back inside. We're just gonna let our shock drop. That's it. We'll pull this off, and this is a mount. You can get new mounts if you want. They're not too expensive. All right, that is it. Let's go back out, we'll put on our new shock. Our old shock, we'll just get out the rest of the way. We'll take the dust boot off our old one, put it on our new one, and we'll get our mount, put that on. We'll slide this in. Let me move you, angle you up. So we're just gonna put this in the hole, like that. You can push up from the bottom. That'll compress it just a little. Get it in place. We'll turn this around. We want to make sure that our wheel speed sensor wiring bracket is in the right orientation. There we go. Okay. Okay, so that's in up there. We move you down here. So we got the right orientation, so it's not 180 out, but we're in the right spot. Now the hardest part of this whole thing is putting our bolts back in. Let me set you up in a good spot. So I have the steering wheel back to straight. That'll help us out a little, and we'll need a pry bar. We're gonna pry just underneath the shock to get it up where we need it. So let's put this back like this. So the shock is just lower than our holes. So let me get a bolt. We got a bolt ready. We're gonna get underneath. Let me rest that. We're gonna get underneath. Let me find a good spot for it. Maybe from the other side. There we go. This will go forward. We're going to use our body up against the rotor. And we're going to move our shock up with our pry bar, just so it all lines up. Move things around as needed, up or down. And just keep moving it. There we go. Got that one. We're still going to wiggle it around for the next one. Just want to make sure you feel good threads. There's the second one. I'm just gonna suck these down just a little. Not tight, just getting it sucked in. All right, now that'll help with our other side. Let me move you. So on this side, we should be close. Looks like I still need the pry bar. There we go. And last one is the top one. Got it. So now I'm going to turn the wheel all the way in this direction. That'll expose these two bolts. We'll torque them down. I'll just suck these down real quick. According to my manual, these are 136 foot-pounds. Put our speed sensor wiring back in. Now again, we'll turn the wheel all the way in the opposite direction and get our last two bolts. While we're here, we'll put our caliper back on. My outer pad fell out. We'll just put that back in. Move you just a little. Get our caliper. Make sure our hose isn't twisted. Get this right through the window. Shorter bolt on the bottom. Longer bolt on the top. Snug these down. And these are 22 foot-pounds. Click, click, click. Plug this back in. Just get the right angle. Push it in. You'll kind of feel it snap in. Sweet, that's it. We're gonna leave our dust boot down for now. Let's go inside. We'll tighten that up and torque it down. We'll put our mount on. Put our nut on. So now we'll suck it down. The new shock should be stiff enough that it doesn't spin on us, so we shouldn't need vice grips. I just do little bursts until I feel it tight, and then I'll back it off just a smidge so we can get a proper torque. All right, that's it. I'll back it off. Now let's torque it down. My manual says these are torqued to 74 foot-pounds. All right, we'll lay this down. And that'll lay flat once gravity kind of has its chance with it. We'll pull you out. I'm just gonna put the carpet back, and we're done. We'll go underneath, just put that dust boot back on. Make sure to pump your brakes a couple of times before taking it on a test drive. Because we pushed in our caliper pistons just a little, we want those to come back out and our brakes to feel nice and firm. Good job. All right, that's it. All in all, not too bad. Next thing you want to do is just take it on a good test drive, hit some bumps, make sure there's no new noises, no new vibrations, and you're good to go. It is recommended to take it down to an alignment shop just to get it double checked. One thing I didn't mention is the tire torque. According to my manual, it's between 167 and 187. So anywhere right in there, perfect. Thanks for watching. I'll have links in the description for all the parts and tools used. If you have any questions, comment, post down below. Work safe. See you on the next one.